I'm in Northern California right now. I've been at this receivers for the last 6 hours so far. My assignments got a little messy this week, and I had a 23-hour gap between my arrival and my appointment time. Unfortunately, the company didn't have the resources to change this into a relay, so I am here waiting. A long time. Yeah, I know some of you OTR guys wait a lot longer, but what a waste of time this is. This is crazy. This week started off actually pretty decent. I was getting some good loads in the beginning, and I thought, yeah, this week's gonna be good. And all of a sudden, by my third assignment, I knew we were in for trouble. Sometimes you just get those weeks. I've been, I think, averaging like one good week, then another decent week, and then a bad week, and then a good week, and then a bad week. So it's like jumbled right now. And I know there's been changes in my department and a lot of things going on, but it's challenging. I mean, you really have to have thick skin to handle this because there's inconsistency in pay because you're stop, start, stop, start. And the days that you get a consistent run of assignments, you make decent money. And those days that you get the stop starts and you get gaps and you get long wait times, your pay is very weak. You need to be able to stomach that. There's no guarantee that you're going to make X amount of money every week. You'll make some money every week, but to make good money, you have to keep rolling. With the potential I see in what I could make by constantly driving, it's challenging to get those weeks where you're not driving much. It is what it is. Still have to be thankful for being able to work and do at least this much, right? And who knows, hopefully things get better and there's a lot more consistency in the weeks to come. So at the end of this video, you're gonna see some road footage along with music. Before, I used to purchase the music to get the rights to use that music, but now I am creating the music using AI. And there's a site called Udio, UDIO, kind of like studio without the ST or audio without the A. Anyway, I was using that site and you just put in some prompt. It makes, for the most part, good quality music. And it's all done through AI, artificial intelligence. So you got to figure, in about 20 years, how many jobs will be obsolete because of AI? Driving jobs, jobs for musicians' jobs. Already, the writers are affected. The world that we know now will drastically be different because of artificial intelligence. I believe it's the people that know how to harness the artificial intelligence and to direct the artificial intelligence that are gonna do well. So understanding how artificial intelligence impacts society is crucial. It is something I think that we can't neglect. We have to be on top of it and keep ourselves informed because this is going to hit us faster and harder than we think. And if there are people controlling that artificial intelligence with malicious intent, I think it could be a very dark future. But if common sense rules, I think it could be a very fascinating future as long as we keep ourselves informed and on the right track.
What's going on, my people? You got to admit that the trucking industry is pretty challenging for the most part. I talked to a driver this week and he was telling me he had some sort of drama every week ever since he started driving for the last 16 weeks or so. You know, there seems to be nothing smooth and easy in trucking. One of the key things I believe in, I think any job to excel, to thrive, basically, right? To do well, whether you're in the office or you're out on the road. I believe is a key thing is feeling supported, feeling like they have your back, that you're one team. And I think this is a crucial element, a crucial ingredient for success in any team organization, right? So we're talking about basically morale. Morale is the secret sauce of a successful company or a successful organization, successful team. When morale is low, people don't feel motivated to do stuff. People don't feel motivated to cover each other. People don't feel motivated to go the extra mile when they need to. People feel like they're being taken advantage of or being unappreciated. I know a lot of drivers, they feel like they are being scrutinized for every mistake they make, every wrong turn, every wrong step that they take. And it could get tiring really fast, that feeling of being controlled or micromanaged, scrutinized for every step, every misstep, without feeling that there's a genuine desire from the inside, from your support group, for you to learn the correct way and do it the right way. It feels almost like one side is pulling one direction, the other one's trying to get away with pulling the other direction, and there's not this cohesion. So this is basically 20 weeks of driving for my first company, and I want to ask you guys if these words resonate with your experience. Words like thriving. Are you thriving? Is it excellent? Is there good communication, cohesion, teamwork? Is there a positive energy? Is there understanding? Are you together with those other people that you work with able to take on challenges and tackle problems together? Is there a, hey, let's do this attitude? Or is it a different situation? Okay, so I'm going to throw some other words out there for you. Does it feel toxic at times? Do you see a high turnover rate? Do you see a lot of problems that keep recurring that don't get resolved? But you see it, you communicate it, but it keeps happening over and over again. Do you see a lack of communication, a lot of stress, feels like nobody cares, it's just a job? Doesn't feel like anybody has your back. You're not appreciated, you're not loved, you're on your own basically. You better pull through on your part of the deal or else. Is there a lot of stress and frustration, lack of trust? I don't know, talking behind people's back. I know like these are kind of extremes, but I think somewhere in the middle, you'll find most companies. 10 people could be working for the same company with the same account, the same department, doing the same type of work, and you may get 10 different results because one person will feel like, hey, it's not bad, it's great, it's good, you know, I get along well with my office people. And then you've got some other people that just dread it. They have a horrible experience. So I know that even in my account, I know of more people leaving. They're transitioning out to different accounts, and there's a lot of complaints going around, you know, that things aren't going well, they're not getting the miles, they're having to wait extended periods of time. Like this past week, I went to an account, I asked for it to be turned into a relay. They said they didn't have enough drivers. So I think it took me actually like about 10 hours at the facility. I got there a little bit earlier than the appointment time, but still it was a good 6-7 hours before I got out of there after I checked in. So overall, the wait time to even get to the appointment and the driving time, that one delivery took 2 days, and it's less than a 400-mile ride. So, you know, that's something that I like to do in, I don't know, like 8 hours, if at all possible. You know, 7 to 8 hours would justify like a 400-mile ride and a delivery. But, you know, it's annoying, but it's not bad. It isn't bad still. You want to maximize, I want to maximize my time, and I'm going to keep pushing for that, but it may take a while for the company to get there to hit the miles that we need to hit and also make the money that I would like to make. It's doable, so hopefully we can get that smooth flow going. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of transitions because it's a new account and people are getting adjusted, people are getting frustrated, people are leaving, people are complaining, but at the same time you've got office people kind of rotating, and yeah, it's not a smooth process, but what are you going to do? Resetting the button and going somewhere else and starting all over, it may take a long time for you to get situated there, and there is no guarantee that they have their act straight, you know, at a different company, at a different account. So so far all I know is I am still happy with the company despite the drama that we've faced and despite the tensions that there are, but I'm gonna push through and make this work for as long as it makes sense, and so far it makes enough sense for me to stick it out. Am I frustrated at times? Yes, I'm very frustrated at times. Am I glad to be here though? Yes, I'm glad to be here because it could be a lot worse. So just on the things that I talked about earlier, you know, I think it's important though to feel like you're at a place where you are supported and morale is high and the teamwork is good and you're excelling. You're using the talents that you have to really do your best and put in your best energy. We could do our part every day, make a decision every day to do our part. Now, I think there's going to come a point where me, you, whoever decides, you know what, I'm not thriving here. I've gave it a legitimate chance, and the standard of work that I expect and the standard of work I want to give, but at the same time, the standard of work I expect from my teammates and my group, it's not high enough. You know, I want it elevated. I want a higher quality of work. At that point, there will be a transition for anybody that's working. If they feel like they can get better somewhere else, they need to go ahead and take that step. We're not here being a service organization, you know, doing things for free or doing things for somebody else's benefit so that we could suffer and sacrifice. It's not like that. We are here to do our best to make as much money as possible and as quickly as possible, and at the same time provide a service for our company, for our customers, for our country and our communities, and bless people in the process. But I want you to think about that. You know, what do you think? Do you think the level of support, it goes both ways? You know, you've got drivers that don't want to listen to anything that anybody wants to say to them. You know, they're going to be cowboys and they're going to do everything their way. You know, that's problematic. That's not teamwork. That's not being supportive. That's not complying with what the company is requesting. trusting of you. So just a personal assessment. How are you doing in that area? How is your back office? How are your leaders? How are they doing in that area? Is the morale high? Do you feel like you're thriving? Do you feel like it's a toxic workplace? Do you feel like nothing's getting fixed? Do you feel like things are getting better? Ask yourself those questions and see what you come up with. And I'm not saying make a knee-jerk reaction from that, but keep kind of a record, a tab as time goes by, and see if it does incrementally improve or if it over time gets worse and worse. You know, it could be a situation where things are getting bad and it starts to spiral, and that toxicity, the spiraling toxicity, actually affects the other person, then it affects the other person, then it affects a trucker, then it affects a lot of truckers. You know, it's just like it goes rampant. You know, it's contagious. It could be bad. So something to think about this week. Hope you have a great week. Peace and God bless you. I hope to talk to you soon. Cheers. Have a great week.